Welcome to Brick Trains. I'm Joey, and this is the train layout on 9 volt. So yeah, I've been working on getting 9 volts consistently across the tracks. I, um, yeah, and as you saw in a previous video, FX Tracks makes 9 volt R120, I think now. Which that's these curves, these wide radius curves. So I had the interior loop already as trains go by, but now we have the exterior, and they're both 9 volt. And I know you're all saying 9 volt. They don't make the motors. They don't make the train regular. They don't make anything for 9 volt anymore. And you're right, they don't. And the motors now are costing about $50 a piece. And who knows if that one will work. Pins broke off of them. The clips broke off of them for the coupler pieces. All kinds of crazy stuff. FX Bricks is working on some 9 volt replacement motors. I expect they're going to be expensive too. Deservedly so. Everything is expensive now. But what have we done? What have we done? We now have 9 volt track, 2 loops. We actually have three 9 volt 9 volt lines on the city, or in the city, on the layout. Yeah, whatever. All right, so let's start looking at it. What do we got here? So we're on the far corner, back in the old Paradisa area. We're upgrading, rearranging, doing things. But what we have here is our trains going by very fast. This is our expansion for power. So this corner and the far opposite corner is where we get our power pickup. And this is our yellow line and our blue line. So the yellow line is the outside line, the blue line is the inside line. I've got it all kind of wired in there. It goes into this little power hub. Woo. Yeah, the wires are all nicely little laid in there, coming out of the rail pickups, going into this little building hub, whatever, and then it goes under the layout and goes over to our new power, not really new, but our power station. So let's walk over there. Oh, the little general, 9 volt, always has been. Well, it has had powered up in the tender for a while. But if you know anything about 9 volt trains, that train is not moving because it is on 9 volt track, or it's on 9 volt track with 9 volt power motor, 9 volt motor. Whoa, look out, I almost got hit. But these switches, these old 9 volt switches, they control if power goes inside here. Very clever, very clever. Okay, we're going to keep on moving. All right, we're heading over to get inside to our power control area. All right, here we go. Under and up. For you, that was just a second. For me, I had to crawl under. Ugh. All right, here we go. This is our red line. And you're saying red line. You just said blue and yellow. Where's the red line? Red line is right here. See, it's our. Need to clean the track. It's our trolley. That's the red line. And yes, there's a red tile down there marking the red line. So it goes all the way down there, makes its way back, all automated back and forth. That's the red line. All right, our blue line, which apparently has a wrench. That's our inner loop. These wires are not as nicely tucked in there. I'll work on that. I'll get that all tidied up. Probably going to have to replace some of these wires. They're all good now, but they don't. That wiring don't last long on these. Well, they lasted a long time, but it's all coming apart now. So yeah, yellow, blue, yellow, blue. This is our power system. The red just kind of stays on all the time. The blue, again, is our inner loop, and the yellow is our outer loop. running our trains. There go our trains. That's the Santa Fe. The daylight's coming around the bend. Here they come. And the Santa Fe's already back. Back for more. So let's get them stopped here. All right, we want to stop the yellow line and maybe back it up. All right. And then we'll get the daylight coming around. All right, we'll get it stopped. So how am I getting these to be 9 volt? The Santa Fe, well, the daylight is a mock. It's 100% complete mock train. This is a train that Dakota really loves, my grandson. I like it. I really like the color scheme, the orange and the red, the black. You've seen this before on this channel, but both of these trains have been running powered up. And you could tell that because there is the infrared receiver. We also have the infrared receiver right here on this one. Now, the designer of these locomotives, the Lego designer, the guy that designed these, also designed a B unit, and it looks very close to this. It's close enough that I'm not going to change it to his exact specifications. It looks good. I like it. I think it looks fine for an AB unit on the Santa Fe. One of the things that I don't like is I have this little drop down in here because we have the power function receiver. So we're probably going to remove that over time and clean that up a little bit. And then I'll be even more happy with it. But as you can see, the power function receiver is still in it. The power function receiver is still in here. And what does that mean? So if we take the lid off, try to do this one-handed. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. There we go. I got it. There's our power function receiver and the pigtail that's left for it. But if you notice, we do still have a motor or wire running to the motors. And 9-volt motors should be able to pick up power off of the rails, and it really shouldn't matter. They don't need to be connected, right? But if you notice, I am using an RC motor here. Now, this is not a powered up motor. It's not a power function motor. It is RC, meaning it runs 9 volt, has a 9 volt connector. Let's see if we can look at that. Get this off without breaking it, because these motors are expensive too. Right there we go. It has the 9 volt connector. So it has no way of picking up power. So we run the cable over to the regular 9 volt motor, which has the same connector, and we get our power. Easy peasy, right? Lemon squeezy. Now, here is one of the problems on this particular model, because this is light gray, not light bluish gray, but light gray. And those side rails for the 9 volt motors, that's all nice, cool, awesome. But this motor used, let's see if we can do this with one hand. There we go. It uses Technic axles. Can you see those Technic axles in there? And this doesn't fit over there with the standard, I think it's a 6-length Technic axle. So with the power of Klein tools, we have created 5 1/4 Technic axles so that our light gray side rails fit in there. So Technic axles are pennies, and I don't care. So neither should you. Okay, so let's get this back together. Let's see if we can get this back together. One-handed, holding the camera with one hand. We're gonna pull the cable up. The cable's kind of sticking out the bottom. Get it pulled back up in there. We may end up having to add a weight in here because the batteries used to supply a lot of weight. We'll see how the trains do. There is a little bit of shaking, which kind of tells me there's some wheel slip there. Here's the daylight. Let's look at it. Let's peek in. Whoops. It still has some more of the guts in here, a lot more of the power function guts. And I think this one, yes. Okay, so I know the camera work on this is great. This is our 9-volt motor picking up power. This is a power functions motor. And you're probably going, Joey, you can't. You cannot do power functions and 9-volt motors together. But I can. And I did. So let's look in. Crazy. What we did. So in here, well, this is just extra. That's the little reversing cable. So if I wanted to put this back to power functions, if I wanted to run battery box in here, I could actually run it with that 9-volt motor, just reverse the power to it. But that's what this switch does. It's a polarity switch or an on-off switch, but I use it for a polarity switch. That bottom cable is from the motor. The top cable is power functions on this end, and underneath, can't see it, but it is power functions to 9-volt. That was a cable that Lego made when power functions first came out. It had power functions on top and 9-volt on the bottom, which means you could clip it down onto your old 9-volt motors, your train motors, so you could get power from them or send power to them. So in this case, we're now getting power from them to run the power functions motor. And I like that. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. So that's how we're doing the 9-volt. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, what was part I saw it? How are we distributing power across the layout? So here, our blue line, the inner line, we have stacked 2 9-volt connectors. One is going directly over to here, and that's adding power to the rail. And that probably is enough power to run the train. But bigger loads, so more cars, bigger cars, more cars, takes more current, higher speeds. I mean, you're not going to go as fast as the 9-volt allows you to go, but it is common practice in model railroading with big layouts, and this is a big layout. This is not your normal run-of-the-mill Lego train set that came with these transformers and wire pickups and stuff. This is a lot more track than was originally designed. So that being said, we have a second connector on top. All right, this wire here, which actually runs to this terminal block, which I'm going to tuck under here and hide. 2 of these is for the outer line, and 2 of these are for the inner line. So yellow coming in, blue coming in, yellow going out, or yellow going out, blue coming out, whatever way I said that. And that gives us the line that carries the power from here are the transformers all the way around back to over there in that corner. So that gives us pretty good amount of power corner to corner. That's a diagonal, 45-degree across. And we'll see. So far it's running these trains fine. I haven't had any, I'm not like getting any massive overheating, which is good. It may burn these transformers up. Watch a channel like Battery Powered Bricks. Brian over there, he's got all kinds of tips and tricks about these. Also, the wiring. I mentioned the wiring earlier that I might redo these wires over here. This is all new wire that I'm using. It's at BN Tech Go, which Brian at Battery Powered Bricks got me hooked on using that stuff. Yeah, these transformers, I may end up roasting them. and that's fine. If I do, I've got more, but if I do, then that tells me I need to up my power supply, and there are options. Again, check out Brian's channel, and he's got some options. I think he even had an in. I think he had an in transformer upgrade that you could do in here. I think there's a video about that. Pretty sure I saw that on his channel. I would probably be more inclined to do something like that just to keep the Lego aesthetic. I kind of like the nostalgic look of the Lego Transformer. So, all right. That's what I did in a nutshell. I'm not a how-to video guy. So yeah, start with battery-powered bricks if you need a how-to, way more how-to than I give it out. So let's switch this around. I'm gonna get the trains running again, and we'll get some on-track view of the trains, and we'll wrap this video with that. But as always, thanks for watching the video.